Hello there, and welcome to the latest entry in the King's Square Reviews Daredevil Born Again. This recap focuses on episode 5 titled With Interest. Spoilers are ahead, so if you haven't watched the episode, do so first, then come back and hear my take on things. With Interest is a self-contained breather episode. After having some heavy events occur over the first 4 episodes, we as the audience need to catch our emotional breath, so to speak, before we begin the home stretch of episodes. I wouldn't call With Interest a filler episode because this is another step in the journey of Matt Murdock putting the suit back on and becoming Daredevil again. And we also get a guest star in the form of Mohan Kapoor, returning as Yusuf Khan, the father of Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Before diving into the recap, let's get the shameless plugs out of the way. If you like my video, hit the like and subscribe button below, as well as the bell icon to get notifications when new videos drop. You can also show your support by signing up for my Patreon in the description below. Patreon subscribers get early access to videos like this, as well as exclusives, such as my upcoming episode-by-episode review of The Residents. Thanks for your indulgence, and on with the recap. I loved this episode, despite it not having too much connecting it to the larger narrative established in the first 4 episodes of this series. In particular, the presence of Mohan Kapoor as Yusuf Khan was an inspired choice to bounce off of Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock. Based on the dialogue, it sounds like this episode takes place after the events of the Marvels. Yusuf is still absent-minded, like when he tries to show off the Funko Pop of his daughter to the blind man seated at his desk. Underneath of that, though, is a heartfelt kindness. Matt has come to the bank that day to speak with the bank manager about a loan to help cover McDuffie and Murdock's expenses. The bank manager is late, leaving Yusuf as the assistant bank manager to attend to Matt's request. Even though he is reluctant to do so, Yusuf denies Matt's request. That would be the end of it, except it's right after Matt leaves that a group of Irish mobsters led by a man named Devlin decide to hold up the bank. Staging a bank robbery on St. Patrick's Day, one of the busiest days in NYC for the police, is a stroke of genius. It quickly becomes apparent that Devlin is not your average hoodlum. He's sharp, calculating, and prepared for any eventuality, except a blind lawyer who shows up to disrupt things. Matt is at least 2 blocks away when he picks up the sounds of the robbery commencing and hustles back, telling McDuffie to call the police, who arrive sometime after Matt does. What follows is a bit of a cat-and-mouse game between Murdock and the robbers, as well as Devlin and the cops outside. The interactions between Devlin and Detective Angie Kim, returning from her brief cameo with Cherry at Josie's bar in the first episode, are quite funny. Devlin is clearly playing with Kim, who just wants to end the situation with as little bloodshed as possible. From demanding armored vehicles within 45 minutes to asking for a good joke to pass the time, Devlin is trolling the police outside while his men work on opening the vault at the bank. Devlin's crew are part of the Irish mobsters who were punished for a heist they committed a couple of episodes ago. Luca, the leader of this group of gangsters, owes $1.8 million in restitution, and they plan on obtaining it from the bank. With the bank manager missing, Yusuf steps up to say he can open the vault, which he is most certainly not able to do so. Murdock picks up on the lie using his enhanced senses and begins formulating a plan. He even manages to persuade Devlin to let a young married couple leave together rather than the wife and Murdock leaving, just so he can stay in place to keep people safe. I think in this episode we truly get to see Charlie Cox embody the title The Man Without Fear, one of the monikers for Daredevil, best exemplified when he stands up to one of the bank robbers who presses a shotgun to Matt's forehead. I doubt Murdock's heart skipped a beat in that moment or even sped up all that much. We soon learn that the goal of the robbery isn't cash, but breaking into a safe deposit box. Matt deftly subdues one of the robbers on the stairwell leading down to the vault, even managing to control the robber while clinging to a falling shotgun to prevent the noise from alerting everyone. Yusuf manages to provide additional support for Matt, stalling the gangster that took him to the vault long enough for Matt to arrive and take him down. The interactions between Matt and Yusuf are priceless, particularly Matt's customary line about being a good lawyer when he's done something a blind man shouldn't be able to do, like crack a high-security vault. It turns out the robbery is for a rather impressive-looking diamond from one of the deposit boxes. Yusuf and Matt use it as a bargaining chip with Devlin just as the cops decide to breach the bank and arrest the robbers. But, as I mentioned earlier, Devlin's prepared for this eventuality. In the confusion that follows the arrival of the police, Devlin passes off what he thinks is the bag with the diamond to an inside person, a woman in a blue jacket that has been featured off and on during the episode. Devlin soon reveals that he has a police uniform under his tracksuit, which allows him to leave the bank without being detained. Matt, however, is not fooled by this. Using his heightened senses, Matt is able to track down Devlin by his heavy footsteps. What follows is one of the most satisfying beatdowns in the show so far. Devlin isn't a badass assassin or a deranged artist. He's just a criminal with a decent head on his shoulders and some smarts. But given his willingness to hurt people to get what he wants, it feels good as an audience member to watch Matt beat him down, including that brutal leg break to end the fight. To round out the episode, Matt returns to the bank to see Yusuf after things have calmed down. If this were a more cliche-driven show, this would be the moment Yusuf would say that the bank has reconsidered their decision and offer Matt the loan that he requested. Yusuf shuts that down, but in a heartfelt moment to honor Matt's bravery, he instead offers to have Matt over for dinner with his family and discuss ways to help McDuffie and Murdock stay financially solvent. Picturing Matt Murdock and the Khan family having a sit-down dinner together brings a warm smile to my face. I'd love to see that, even if it's just an outtake at the end of the credits. Matt's visit also coincided with him discreetly returning the diamond to Yusuf, ensuring that no one profited from the attempted bank heist. With Interest is one of the shortest episodes of the series so far, but I felt it was a wonderful divergence from the main story arc. Getting to spend some time with Matt engaging in stealthy heroics with Yusuf tagging along was a lot of fun. Charlie Cox and Mohan Kapoor have excellent chemistry together, which makes their interactions such a treat to watch. I never felt this was a shoehorned connection to the wider MCU. Instead, this felt like a natural interaction that developed into a nice little side story for both characters. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and if you're feeling generous, consider signing up for my Patreon using the link in the description below. Have a great day.